All right, and I am back, and I am joined by WBC champion, heavyweight champion Bermane Stiverne, who will be fighting against Deontay Wilder on January 17th in Las Vegas. Very highly anticipated fight. I hear the floor is sold out already. You know, Haiti, a fight for peace, as your promoter would say, for a peace and love and unity, for women's rights and all those good things. But you know, just a fight to win, most importantly. So, welcome Bermane to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Oh, it's our pleasure. So talk to us a little bit about the fight coming up. I'm also joined by my co-host, Ryan Bivens, who will also be asking you questions tonight. You know, before we get into talking about the fight itself, you know, there's been a lot of back and forth between you and Wilder in social media. Prior to this fight, a lot of back and forth between you and Chris Arreola. You seem to be a pretty mild-mannered guy, a guy of few words. Why do you think they come at you so much prior to the fight, just so much talking and banter?
I wouldn't say it's back and forth because I haven't thrown any rocks or whatever at him. I mean, he does what he does. I mean, you know, he's good at talking trash and entertaining the people that's out there and his fans. So, you know, everybody got their own way to promote a fight or to put the excitement. Obviously, he's doing a good job because he's talking a lot. So, he made this fight bigger than if I was fighting for to unify the titles.
Right, and as you go into this fight for the title, you know, as we know, your promoter is Don King, you know, a legend in the sport, and people have very strong reactions to Don King one way or another. Do you feel, as you prepare for these big fights, with having him as your larger-in-life promoter, can it be a distraction from time to time?
No, it's never. If it was, I would have never signed with him. You know, everybody got their own opinion about Don King. I got my own. I mean, the man been nothing but good to me. So everybody else that has any personal issues with the man, I mean, it's not really my concern. I'm just worried about my personal relationship with DK.
Are you satisfied with how often you get to fight?
Well, the issue about me not be fighting is because, you know, I had issues with my hands and my back the past 2 years or 3 years. It was not because I was not offered a fight. So I just didn't take a fight. Not going to the ring 100%. This is not something that I would have done.
Gotcha.
And going into this fight, so now you have a very different opponent from Chris Arreola. With the Arreola fight, you had a guy who was struggling to be in shape, ill-prepared, a little bit more prepared for your previous fight. You were still able to dismantle him fairly easily. When you look at Wilder, other than the fact that he's in a little bit better conditioning, what would you say are the biggest contrasts in their fight styles that you've observed just by watching the two, like watching back your fight with Arreola and watching fights that Wilder's been in?
Well, yeah, you talking about two different fighters. One was high-ranking, high-class fighter, which is Arreola, and the other one is not. I believe that Wilder's career was all choreographed. It was well handled, and nevertheless, he did what he was supposed to do. He knocked everybody out. But that don't mean that he deserves to be where he is today. And also, I didn't train due to the fact that he fought his opponent was not really strong or had like it was such a low opponents. I didn't train like that. I trained like it was I was fighting for the title or to get the title. So I'm not looking into everybody saying how he didn't fight nobody or whatever. We train like we fighting Superman. So, but I still don't think that he deserved to be where he is today. That's my personal opinion. But it is what it is. I mean, that's who I got to fight, and that's who I will fight.
During last week's media call that we had with you, or that the media all had with you and Wilder and your respective teams, he said that his fight with Malik Scott beat everyone on your resume that you fought so far. Before I ask you to comment on that, out of the opponents that you have fought previously, who was your toughest challenge out of everyone you've fought in your professional career?
Toughest would be, I think it was a fight I fought in Miami. His name was, I think, Willie Aaron. I went 8 rounds with him. And probably I'll tell you, he was the toughest.
Now, looking at that's your toughest opponent and then referring to the fight he's talking about against Malik Scott that ended in, I think it was like 2 rounds, kind of a interesting looking knockout. Do you think that Malik Scott was as tough as your matchup with Willie Aaron that you fought in Miami?
I mean, can you repeat that question for me, please?
Looking at his fight, Deontay Wilder's fight that he had against Malik Scott, it ended pretty early, second round, it didn't really look like, from my limited point of view, like a real flush knockout. Ended very quickly. And you said that you went 8 hard rounds with Willie Aaron. Do you think that Willie Aaron probably was a more formidable foe than Malik Scott was or would have been for you, just basing it on how that other fight ended? Does it end kind of anticlimactic?
First of all, the fight that he had with Malik Scott, I mean, nobody is stupid. Nobody is ignorant when it comes to boxing. I mean, if you know boxing, you can watch the fight regularly. You can put the slow motion, and you know what happened. I mean, I'm not blind. Nobody is blind, so you know what happened. I mean, to me, it was all choreographed. Mm-hmm. Even to say that probably Malik Scott got paid under the table to sit on his ass, but it was a real joke to me. It was a real joke to put that on national TV. And it is, but I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that. This is how they want to handle his career. This is how they want to put knockouts on his record. Then so be it. And it will be a totally different story in 17 because reality is about to hit him, and you won't know what to do with it.
Okay, Ryan, do you have questions?
Yeah, we have some questions from Twitter. One of our guests wants to, Taisha wants to know, when you won the WBC Heavyweight Championship, what did it mean to you to, take it back home to Haiti?
I mean, the world to me. I mean, I think every athlete or whether it's basketball, boxing, or is to win a championship. Is to win the main trophy of the sport. I mean, to me, since I was young, even when I was playing football, I always, never imagined that I would have won a title like that. But it did happen. It was all I wanted, and it's the greatest feeling in the world. I can tell you that.
Okay. Another guest, Joshua, he wants to know if you've ever been down, amateur or pro.
I think I went down. I think it was an amateur. I went down, but I still can't recall if I went down from the punch or it was there was a slip or whatever. But I did went down on my knees, but I got up, but I was fine. So that's why I'm saying that, you know, it probably won't. It probably wouldn't. It wasn't a knockdown because when I went down, I got up. I wasn't dizzy. I wasn't. I mean, it was just. I don't know. I'm till this day. I'm asking. I always talk about this fight in the amateur day that I had, and I don't know. I can't really say if I went down from the punch or if I slipped.
Okay. So would you say that you're extremely confident in your beard, and a guy like Deontay Wilder is, you're not, do you envision having to get off the canvas to win the fight?
Excuse me?
When you're going to fight Wilder, you know, because all of his fights have ended in knockout, can you see him even knocking you down at some point in the fight?
Do I see him knocking me down? That's not something I'm thinking about. It's not in my. No, it's not something that I'm thinking about. But it's the heavyweight division, and we've been in the gym working for things like that not to happen, and it's not something that will happen. I'm confident about that. It's not in our plans to get knocked down.
Okay. And after Wilder, this is from Jacob. He's a big fan of yours. He wants to know, who do you want to target?
I don't really target right now, but Deontay Wilder. I don't like to look past my opponents, and pretty much after this fight, I'll be able to answer any questions of that matter.
I have another. Okay.
Oh, go ahead, Ryan. Go ahead, Ryan.
I was going to say I have another question
from Twitter.
Hey, who's going?
I will go. So, looking at Deontay Wilder hasn't been into deep water in a fight, never really had his chin tested. Do you feel that he has a deficiency in his chin or anything that he does to indicate that he would be very susceptible to your power if you went upstairs?
I don't have the answer to that, but I do have. I mean, on the 17, all the questions that everybody, all the questions that they have about him will be answered. We'll find out if he can take a punch. We'll find out if he can go into deep water, if it goes that far.
Go ahead, Ryan.
And my question is, what do you think about the stalking Shannon Briggs has done to Vladimir Klitschko?
Shannon, I like Shannon. He's I met him a couple of times. He's cool. I gotta say it was real funny. It was really, really funny. Hey, it's entertainment. You know what I'm saying? But I would love to see Vladimir give him a shot.
Hey, might as well. I mean, there's nothing else really happening on that end. Let me ask you about your Haitian-born brother, Bermane Stiverne, who fought this past weekend. Did you have a chance to see him fight?
Yeah, I did.
What did you think of his performance?
Like always, you got to get away from that left hand.
Mm-hmm.
That left hand is nothing to play with. he did good. He did what he was supposed to do. I thought he was going to take him out a little earlier, but the more important part of it is that he was able to take him out, and he did that.
Mhm. And now, if you could wave your magic wand, I know you're focused on your fight, but just a little mild distraction from what you have going on right now. If you could wave your magic wand for his next fight, who would you match him with?
We're talking about Adonis, right?
Yes.
I think it's time for him to get a fight with Kovalev.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Early.
Just like I told him. I told him that too. You gotta give the people what they want. I mean, it's the same kind of situation when with the fight that I have and with my next fight. I mean, everybody wants to see that, so that's what they will see, and to get that respect or the if you're a real fighter, that's who you fight. The people that the best out there, because for a little time he was the man out there, and after what Kovalev did to Hopkins, Kovalev got a bit of popularity and more respect. So I would love to see him fight Kovalev.
Okay, go ahead, Ryan.
I think that's about it on the questions from Twitter. But I guess I want to know, how do you plan to approach this fight? Because, you have a severe, height and reach disadvantage, and you are, primarily a counterpuncher. You like to set things up. And, to beat a guy like Wilder, you got to get inside on him. So how do you plan to adjust your style of fighting?
Well, that's one thing that people assume, that the way I fight. They look at the last two fights, my last two fights, which was with Areola. And what people have to understand is the way that I fought Areola, I had to get out of my comfort zone and to box him and to fight him the way I don't fight, because that's not the way I fight. And with Wilder, it's going to be a totally different fight. It's not going to be anything people have seen before of me. It's going to be different, really different.
And have you been able to bring in sparring partners that can simulate his height?
Everything is good. Sparring partners are good. The height is not a problem. It was never a problem. Like I said, man, everything is good.
All right. Well, the date is approaching, and I believe that we saw we will be seeing an all access following you and Wilder just prior to your fight. For your fans that are listening, there's fans all over the place. What would you like to say to your fans leading up to this fight on January 17th?
Well, thank you very much. I think the fans, my supporters or fans, the people that support me, I try my best to answer them personally. I always take the time every now and then to answer people on social media. I do not have people that's doing this for me. I'm trying to do it personally. So I'm trying my best to answer everybody. And for those that didn't have a chance to have an answer, it's nothing personal. I appreciate the thoughts and the message. I love all my fans, and thank you. It's nothing but more motivation to me to continue doing what I'm doing.
All right. That sounds great. Well, we are looking forward to seeing you on the 17th. Thank you for joining us tonight, and good luck.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right. Our pleasure.